Should you buy the Nike SB Ishods? Personally, I don't regret buying them, but there are definitely some drawbacks that I'll get into at the end of this video. But first I want to get into what Nike has to say about these shoes and whether or not it's true. Also what I liked about the shoes, and then finally at the end, I'll let you know what the biggest weaknesses or drawbacks of these shoes were for me. Alright, so here's what Nike has to say about the Nike SB Ishods. Durable suede overlays create a classic look. The breathable mesh panel has flexible molded plastic overlays that nod to the look of basketball shoes from the 90s. The reverse swoosh on the heel nods to the Nike Air Darwin. Nike React Performance, a drop-in like React insole, is made from a lightweight durable foam that delivers a smooth, responsive ride and helps enhance board feel. New cupsole, the new design delivers the durability of a cupsole with the flexibility you need to reduce break-in time and maximize skate days. The skate-specific herringbone pattern on the bottom uses data to put grip where you need it the most. Like this shoe is some kind of software or something. More benefits: midfoot strap hugs and supports your feet while you skate. Well, as far as like creating a classic basketball shoe look, they kind of remind you of like a slimmed down version of a Dunk mixed with a more high-tech basketball shoe. It really looks like a basketball shoe had a baby with a skateboard, and this is what the result was. I think these ventilation things on the sides are pretty cool. You can for sure see a lot of basketball influence with these shoes, and I was getting a lot of compliments at the skate park, partially just because I think these are Ishod's pro shoes and that carries like a lot of hype, but also because I think these are kind of a very unique and different looking skate shoe, and they kind of have like an extra zhuzh, like a little bit more of an edge to them than most skate shoes at the skate park. So definitely very unique. I really like the aesthetic. Now, as far as this Nike React insole, this is probably my favorite part of the Nike Ishod. Since I got the red colorway, it's supposed to mimic Ishod's personal pool table, so it's got all these pool ball things on it. But in Nike's description, it says specifically that it's lightweight, durable, and delivers smooth and responsive ride that enhances board feel. And they're not BSing you with this. I think on camera this probably just looks like a normal insole, but when you feel it, you can feel the quality and the cushioning in the insole, and the heel on it is like really hefty. While still having a lot of board feel, the Nike Ishod kept my feet feeling safe and protected the entire time. And I've just got to give a lot of credit to this insole, because the shoe is really slim, and without this insole I don't think my feet would have felt safe. A lot of shoes will give you good foot protection or good board feel, but I feel like the Nike SB Ishod is probably the best combination of both board feel and foot protection of any skate shoe that I've ever tried. I'm not sure if I just squeaked, but if I did, it's because I'm 12 years old and I'm too lazy to go back and say what I said again, so we're just gonna keep moving. The other half of this board feel and foot protection combo is this new cupsole from Nike. Again, Nike is pretty spot on with their description. They say that the cupsole is supposed to be flexible and reduce break-in time. I was really surprised that within like 10 minutes, my feet felt really comfortable in these shoes. I mean, if a shoe is breaking in within 10 minutes, I don't think you can ask for much better than that. Then they say this new herringbone technology, this grip on the bottom, that's supposed to give data to your foot. I don't know what that means, but all I know is that it was really grippy, especially on my board. Not so much on the skate park ground, but my skate park is really slippery. But I do have to say that this tread was really flexible, and the board feel was truly amazing. I can't think of any other cupsole skate shoe that I felt more connected to my board with. Also, you can't see it, but there is this like midfoot tongue strap thing that's really in there, but even without tying my shoes, just putting these on, like I hate cinching up my shoes. Even without like tightening the shoes, they feel really snug on your foot, and I think that midfoot strap might have something to do with it, but more so I think they just designed a really good form-fitting silhouette. And I personally, I don't tighten down any of my shoes, so I kind of get the perspective of how snug the shoe is without altering it, and I've never had shoes that have really hugged my feet in such a comfortable way more than these Nike Ishods. One quick side note, it does have the option to lace underneath this flap right here, which I really appreciate. The way that this shoe feels on your foot, it feels high quality. It feels like a high performance athletic shoe made specifically for skateboarding, and you can notice the difference every time you're skating in them. Okay, so we've talked about everything that I loved about these shoes. Now let's get into some of the drawbacks and maybe some reasons why you might not want to buy the Nike SB Ishods. So the first big drawback has to do with these laces. I've ripped quite a few laces and I've had to tie laces together to just try and keep the shoe on my foot. So although this lacing underneath thing works down here, it doesn't extend up any further. So these bottom 3 lace loops are protected, but if you're somebody that does heel flips, you know that a lot of times you'll get wear up in these top lace areas, like somehow flicking through your heel flip, it rubs right here. It's just kind of disappointing because I feel like there was a lot of attention to detail with these shoes, but this is one thing that was overlooked, and maybe overlooked on purpose just because they thought maybe lacing underneath all the way up would ruin the aesthetic of the shoe. Either way, I hate breaking laces, and for a $100 skate shoe, I just feel like I shouldn't have to pay that much and still worry about such a common problem. I've just got to say to Nike, other people are making laces that don't break. Why don't you guys just make laces like that too? Another big disappointment with these shoes was how long the flick lasted. Again, around like 2.5 to 3 weeks, the flick on these shoes was pretty much gone. You can see that I hot glued it, and honestly it worked pretty good. I didn't mind skating them that way, but had I not hot glued these things would have fallen apart in a hurry. The actual flick of these shoes was pretty good. It was a lot more pointy than I was expecting, but Ishod talked about wanting to create a vulcanized flick, kind of like on a Vans shoe or a Janowski, something a little bit more pointy and fast. Personally, I wish the flick was a little bit more round, but that's just a preference thing, and I can definitely see why people would prefer a more pointy and precise flick. So not really a pro or con, just kind of a preference, but I figure before you buy these shoes, you should know. Finally, the last part of the shoes to go was this outsole right here. So that's my finger poking through. It took me about 5 weeks to get to this point, which is about on par with most skate shoes. However, most skate shoes do not cost $100. On the Nike Nijas, those are also around $100, but they last about 2 months, twice as long as a normal skate shoe. So I feel like with those, you're getting a big bang for your buck. However, you're not going to get that kind of durability from the Nike SB Ishods. What you are going to get is arguably better performance, better board feel. You're going to feel a lot more connected to your board. I feel like this shoe is a lot more well-rounded than the Nike Nijas, but ultimately the big downfall of these shoes is durability. I've noticed this trend with Nike in other sports, that they are more focused on making the highest performing shoes and not necessarily the longest lasting shoes. And I think there's something to be said for that. If you can afford $100 a month, go for it. Get the Nike SB Ishod. I would recommend that everybody tries them because I believe like this is the future of skate shoes. Skateboarders are really not very picky when it comes to shoes because they go through them very quickly. So sometimes cost is more of a priority than performance. And because of that, companies make shoes that are more cost effective and not necessarily better shoes as far as how they affect your skating. Whereas this Nike SB Ishod, it feels like they put just as much time and attention into this skate shoe as they normally would with a soccer shoe or a basketball shoe or a tennis shoe. This shoe feels a lot higher quality than just a skate shoe. And ultimately, I hope it ends up pushing the boundaries for other shoe companies to make better quality shoes for skateboarders and hopefully bring down the cost of good quality shoes for skateboarders. I think if Nike can find a material for this cupsole that lasts just a little bit longer so you can keep this really nice slim shoe that's nice and flexible but make it last another week or two, it's gonna make it hard for other shoe companies to compete with that. As for right now, I'm back skating the Nike Force 58s, which are as well a Volk cupsole combo, but they're a fraction of the price. So if you want to see a full breakdown on those shoes, tap this video right here. Make every single day a Friday, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.